Welcome back, everyone. This is the Peak Performance Podcast. Last week, we talked about fixed income securities, how to diversify your stock portfolio. This week, we have some special guests. We have our peak performers. We're going to be discussing leadership styles and the benefits of an effective leader. Thank you for joining us. We're going to introduce our 3 peak performers for the week.
My name is Xander McLaurin. I'm a third year. I'm a business major. I have not declared my concentration.
Hello guys, my name is Giselle Vital. I'm also a third year transfer student majoring in business administration.
Hey guys, my name's Tanner Parker. I'm a third year business admin transfer student, and I'm excited to get this podcast today.
All right, let's dive right into it. Before the show, Giselle and I were talking. She had some real life examples of her and her boss and what it's like being a leadership in a program, and I would love to hear about them.
I had an example that I was telling Dante about before the podcast, which was when I was working in fast food. We had this manager that was notorious for micromanaging and being irritable, which in class we kind of discussed neuroticism, which is when people are easily aggravated or irritable. And on top of that, he was very comfortable yelling at his employees. And I think some of the negative effects that it had on our team was definitely like a low morality, just because most of us were afraid to speak up. It just overall affected the mood at the workplace. So yeah, there's actually been a study done where there was a sample done of over 400 people, and this study concluded that when there is a toxic leader in the work environment, it can result in higher turnover, it can result in dissatisfied employees. So I believe that definitely reflects what we saw at my old job with a toxic boss, micromanaging, just overall not being a really good boss.
I'm sorry to hear that, Giselle. It's terrible that it happened to you, but let's dive into some examples or ways that we can think about preventing this from the future.
Recently, I read an article and it stated the different aspects of keeping a sustainable company and having your employees be happy while they're in that organization. The leader has to go over 4 key steps to make sure that the business lasts as long as it does. So yeah, first is the how phase. The how phase is where the leader of the group, or the manager in this case, tells the employees what's not working and how he wants things to get done in the future. And this can create some problems because some employees might not want to change, but it's really crucial that the manager really communicates to them to see like why this would work and to build that trust. And then next is the why phase. The why phase is where the employees actually start to do the work that the manager is asking them to do, and this starts to lead to different changes and benefits within the company. Next is the who phase. The who phase is who's taking notice outside of the company about the different outputs and how efficient the company is being. At this point, the employees are used to doing this new change of work, and it's really taking notice within the industry. And then next is the external phase, and this is the external factors of the company, such as suppliers, external stockholders, people like that also take on these different changes. And this is how the company remains as sustainable, and this all stems from the being an effective leader and all the ideas that the leader came up with.
So how are some ways that we can apply this to the workforce and management chain?
In my previous job, I was a server at a local restaurant, and I had a manager who everyone loved and everyone got along with, and he really boosted the team morale a lot. He always listened. If you had a problem with your schedule, he'd go into his office, no questions asked, just explain the situation. He'd always fix it for you. If you were stressed out at all, if you got sat like a 18 top at a table, he'd always help you run drinks or help you serve the customers in any way. And he would always give you positive and negative feedback in a constructive manner. And he was always nice about it, and everyone loved him for that.
That's awesome.
And that manager is actually a good example of leadership accessibility, and that is extremely important in workplaces. Being able to access leadership whenever you need it or want it, and being able to be heard is definitely a benefit of working in a good work environment, and everyone loves working in places like that generally.
You heard it here, folks. Good and bad leadership styles. What is something that you can do to improve upon yourself? Where can you separate yourself in the chain of management? Let's think about good leadership, starting with self-awareness. Move with your head on a swivel. Thank you for tuning in.